This has to be policed by the community, and it's really the people, the crowds, who will determine how a phenomenon of that kind is received. So there are broadly three different kinds of crowdfunding. One is reward-based platforms where people get some sort of a perk for crowdfunding or putting in money in a certain project. Sometimes you get the product itself as a perk, and sometimes it's just based on altruism. People are not expecting a product; they're just doing this for a social cause of altruism. The other broad category is equity-based crowdfunding, which is now on its way. It's not fully there yet. It's sort of stuck in the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, because of various legislative issues. But I'm pretty certain it's on its way, and it should be here in the next few months. The genesis of crowdfunding goes back to the year 2008, after the big stock market crash. Two potential entrepreneurs who eventually became the co-founders of Kickstarter. Finally, the story goes, they go to a bank, they ask for money, the bank turns them down, and then they realize that maybe they should reach out to the masses through the internet. And so that was the genesis of Kickstarter and companies like Indiegogo, really. Essentially, over time, people have realized that if there's a relatively straightforward way for the regular investor, the one who's not connected in that old boys cloud of venture capitalists and angel investors, if there's a way for them to participate in fundraising for a meaningful startup or a project, that would be awesome. And that's really the reason why crowdfunding is taken off. The idea of contributing to a good cause, or the idea of contributing to a good project, appeals to people, and now the internet makes it feasible for them to do so. The trust happens because, for a number of reasons. One, of course, these platforms make it abundantly clear who the potential entrepreneur or the project creator is. There's a lot of disclosure about the individual, his prior history, the background, his prior successes and failures. The other thing is, we're not talking about millions of dollars being given by an individual. We're talking about literally, a few, maybe $100 or 50 or 20, anything between $10 and $100 is often the average amount donated. So people are willing to take that chance, presumably because they're able to afford it, also because the platforms make it easier for them to figure out who they're donating the money to. I think crowdfunding is here to stay. If anything, is going to grow exponentially once the equity crowdfunding piece comes in. I think that said, what's important is for both parties, investors and entrepreneurs, to figure out what the pros and cons of going through this route are. Okay, so once the SEC puts in place the right set of rules and legislations to enable a seamless and smooth transaction beyond what's happening today, it's only going to make things better. So there'll always be an occasional incident, such as the Airbnb squatter incident and their prior background in Kickstarter. But those are the overwhelming minority of incidents. The overwhelming majority of incidents are super positive. And I don't see fraud as a big threat to this phenomenon. No, I didn't, but I know the story very well. One has to remember that there is a whole parallel universe of people out there who are very different from, let's say, who individually we are. And it's a new generation of people, and they're growing faster, and they're growing by leaps and bounds. So when I advise companies, when I consult for companies, when I do research projects, or when I'm giving talks, I always keep that one rule in mind, that I shouldn't be making decisions in digital marketing or internet marketing, crowdfunding based on my behavior. There's a much bigger parallel universe out there that might be different than what I am. So yes, there will be an occasional potato salad story. There's the smart cooler story that has now raised $13 million, right? And I cannot give you a rational explanation for that. There's always going to be these things, but there are also going to be stories like the Oculus and Facebook's acquisition of Oculus through Kickstarter. And that's the kind of, stories like Oculus are the beacons of hope for potential entrepreneurs, and they will continue to come, they will continue to grow. And it's because of that, platforms like Indiegogo and Kickstarter will continue to survive and thrive.